Okay, so today's workshop, what we're going to look at is coping strategies, which is a very big and complicated word, but what it really means is how we look after ourselves and the things we do to make ourselves feel better. So we're actually going to have a go at some of these activities to give them a try and see whether they fit and there's things that we'd like to carry on doing. We're also going to give you some ideas and tips on how to look after your mental health and well-being, but in a fun way. Remember, today is all about having fun and learning what works for you. So you don't have to worry about whether something's right or not right. Give things a try. And then as we go along, you'll find out what you actually like doing and what you don't like doing. For today's workshop, you will need pieces of paper. You will need coloured pens or felts if you have them. So what I'd like to do is just give you a minute, please, to make sure that you have those things. Don't worry if you haven't, if you just let us know in chat and we can adapt some of the delivery. But if you do have them, can you get them now so that you're ready when the time comes?
If people just write in the chat to let us know when they're back, I'm sure there's a virtual point on offer for the first one back, isn't there, Andy?
Yep. I have this image in my head of people running around the house looking for pens and paper. And I like it. But also it could be parents running around looking for pens and paper for young people now. So either way, good running, everyone. We've already started with physical activity, so that's great. I'm back. So we have one back already. Fantastic. We'll give everyone else 20 more seconds and then we'll get started.
You won the point there.
It's hard for me to get chat up and I have to click on a message, you see, to see it. So there you go. First back was G. Higgins. And now we have Alana as well.
Brilliant.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully all of you are back now. We've got a lot of different activities to do today, so I want to get started with that. Don't worry if you can't get hold of those items. What we'll do is we'll be able to tell you about the activities. You might not be able to join in those ones, but you can take pictures or you can look at the screen and then you'll be able to do them after the session. So if you have got those items, that's great. If not, don't worry. So I want to start off with a little brain teaser to get you started and get your brains working. So on the screen, you will see two pictures and your job is to spot the difference. So you need to look at the top picture and then look at the bottom picture and see if you can notice any differences between the two. I will give you a hint. There is 6. And if you can tell us in chat if you spot any of those and also how many you can spot, then that would be great. We're just going to give you 60 seconds to kind of go through this and see if you can spot what the difference is, and then we will let you know. So go.
I've got 2 so far.
Ooh.
Am I allowed to win or not?
No. Bottom one has one football, purple stripe on his sleeve. Ooh, I'm not going to read the rest out. Let's see if anyone else gets them first. And Mark, no, you're not allowed to join in. You just can't. Plus, I bet you were actually at this game, weren't you? So, you know what I mean? Okay, we're going to give you 15 more seconds. Oh, we've got a couple more answers coming in now. Do, 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 do. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, so we've got some answers coming in. First one to come in with the answers was Grace. Well done, Grace. We've got bottom one has no football, purple stripe on the sleeve, LFC logo is missing from shorts, person missing in the far right, and also logo missing from shirt. Spot on. There's a person in the back with the blue uniform. Yep, so that's one of the players. And Fatima spotted 3 out of the 6. Well done, everyone. That's fantastic. I am kind, so I will show you where they are. So, as you rightly said, football missing here. There's also the purple armband and the logo missing here. And then there's also the logo missing off the shorts. This one, which nobody got, is that in the second picture, there was a big semicircle on the ground, but that's no longer there. And then also the final one, which I think a couple of years got, was there's a player missing from the corner here. So if you got all of them, congratulations and well done to you. If you only got 3, you've still done extremely well. So excellent and well done. So today we're going to be talking about coping strategies, which sounds like a really big word. But in reality, it's just the small things that we do to make ourselves feel better. So these are some of the things that I do to make myself feel better. I eat good food. I love to watch movies. I also love to exercise. I love to talk with friends and family. And my favorite all-time coping strategy is music. I absolutely adore music. I listen to all kinds of music all the time. Before I go on to anything else, can you think of any coping strategies that you do? And can you please put them in chat? So what do you do to make yourself feel better if you're not feeling great?
I think it's important to say as well, isn't it, Andy, that even if you're unsure about other people on the call, if they might not like it, you know, it's really important to share those, because in sharing something that helps you, it could also give someone else an idea of something they haven't tried. So yeah, I'd really encourage those to come in the chat. That'd be brilliant to hear some of the stuff, especially at the moment during lockdown. Have you done any weird and wonderful coping strategies that you might not have done in everyday when life's back to quote normal?
So we've got one answer in so far, which is stroking rabbits. I think that's a fantastic one. I think spending some time with pets is a really good way to make yourself feel better, because by looking after them, you're also looking after yourself, which is a really good one.
Actually, stroking a pet as well, it's scientifically proven to release all those feel-good hormones as well. So that's a brilliant one. Well done.
Any more coming through, Mark?
Not yet.
Okay, while you're doing that, I just wanted to explain to you in a very simple way how coping strategies or how these little things work. So imagine this is your brain. This is your brain. And then imagine that this is a problem, okay? So if you put the problem on your brain, it can be really quite difficult to look after that problem and to keep control of it, especially when you're not concentrating enough and then whoop, it falls off. Now, coping strategies don't take away the problem, but what they do is make it easier to look after. So even if the problem seems like the biggest thing in the world, do you like what I did there? The world. Even if the problem seems like the biggest problem in the world, it still can be made better and easier with coping strategies. So if you were to imagine this is your brain with coping strategies, it doesn't take away the problem. The problem is still there. But what it does is it just makes it a little bit easier to look after that problem. Makes it a little bit easier to feel better in that situation, which then means that you can do better and feel better quicker. So that's just a little bit about coping strategies and about what kind of things work and what they do for you. Spending time outside is another one from Grace. That's a brilliant one, Grace. We've also got drawing, reading, and listening to music. Oh, excellent. Drawing in particular, Grace, is a really good one. I really enjoy doing art, especially when I do art with my kids, because that makes them feel better, which makes me feel better as well. So well done to everyone there. One of the things we've done as well is we've looked at some of the best ones for children and young people. Sorry, before we move on, photography is fun as well. I absolutely agree with you there. Taking brilliant pictures, especially if you look back at the pictures you take, is a really good one. So anybody else on the call, you can always feel free to rob these coping strategies as well and try them out yourself. So we've had a little look at some of the best ones that young people say that work for them. And this is the kind of list that they've come up with. So they've come up with this one because it works for most people. So what I would say is we're going to go through and give you examples of some of these today so that you can actually try them out. Okay, so breathing, deep breathing, journal writing, using positive self-talk, practicing gratitude, mindful coloring, writing a list of chores or choices, and also exercising. So we're going to give some of these a try today. So for our first activity, we're going to do something around breathing, which is quite a fun one for me. I tend to do this most days where I'll give this a try. So what I want everyone to do is I want you all to stand up wherever you are, and then I'm going to take you through a breathing exercise and a stretching exercise. So if everyone can stand up. Oh. Okay, so can you see me there? Yeah. So what we're going to do is do what's called a half sun salutation. So you're going to stand with your arms to the side like that. Yeah. And then everyone to stretch their arms as high as they can, right up as if you're stretching to the sun. And then I want you to bring yourself down. I want you to grab the back of your knees and just lower your head. Yeah. I want you to hold that for a couple of seconds. And then I want you to bring yourself out and stretch your arms to your knees, but pull your head up. And then I want you to go back to your knees again and drop your head. And just feel the back of your legs stretching like that. And then I want you to stand up straight and tall and reach up again and stretch out. And hold and flop. Hey, shake it out. Okay, so I do this activity in the mornings because of two things. One, it really helps with waking up your body because it helps stretch all the muscles in your body and makes you feel more awake. And secondly, when you're doing this activity, what you should do is in the moments when you hold, practice breathing. So when you do the big stretch up like that, breathe in, hold it, count to 5 in your head, and then breathe out. So it's excellent for practicing stretching your body, but also helping to relax your mind and making you feel better. Okay, so now that we've had to try that activity, I'd like you to keep that going as we go along. So the next activity I've got for you is called scribble art. It's one of my favorite ones. And the reason it's one of my favorites is because it's so easy to do. So what I want you to do is get yourself a piece of paper. Any piece of paper will do. And you need to get yourself a pen, a pencil, or a felt. Yep. And then once you've got that, I want you to scribble on the piece of paper, just making lines. Don't worry about where they go. Just make sure they go all over. So something like that. Okay. So can everyone, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to do that. And then I'll tell you what you're going to do next. So you can do any kind of scribbles you want. You can have big lots and lots and lots and lots of scribbles. You can scribble loads in the middle. You can scribble all around the sides and back again. However you want to do it, you can do it that way. So give it a few more seconds to do that, and then I'll tell you what the next step is.
Sorry guys, my internet went down. What have I missed, and what are they doing?
Scribble art. So I had to turn my background off so they could actually see it. But we've done a scribble on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So that they can go and do the next bit. So something like that, Mr. Mark.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Okay. So I'm assuming now that everyone has done that. So I'll tell you what you're going to do next. Now, this is where you can get creative and get interesting in what you do. So the next stage is to turn this scribble into a beautiful piece of artwork. Now, how can you possibly do that? You say, well, here's some examples of ways that you can do that. So where you have your scribbles and you've done, you can use coloured pens to colour in between the little sections within this. You can do it in lots of different ways. You can do it as a solid colour, which is the picture you can see on your left. Or if you've got a big lot of scribbles, you can use like faces and the scribbles to make it look like a little character person. Or if you're feeling really confident, you can make it into a really like artistic piece, like the one on your far right, which has got lots and lots of little intricate details, little bits in it. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to kind of start doing this, and then you can carry it on after we finished here today. But I just want to give you the chance now to start colouring this in. You can also think about who you'd want to give this picture to. Do you want to keep it for yourself and use it to decorate your room? Or do you want to give it to somebody like a parent or guardian or somebody that you like in your world? So have a little go of colouring them in now, and I'll give you sort of 3 minutes for you to do that, and then we will get on with the next activity. Okay, everyone, you can carry on doing that while I'm talking. But I just wanted to share with you a good reason why this activity is really, really good. Sorry, we've had the message through saying, I need to leave for a second. One of my rabbits is chewing a wire. Okay, not a problem. Please go and save the rabbit and then come back when you're ready. So while rabbits are being saved around the world, I just wanted to tell you about why this activity is so good for you. So by creating this piece of work, what you're doing is you're bringing order to a little bit of chaos. It's also very good for mindfulness. I don't know if anyone knows what mindfulness is, but that is the kind of like meditation that some people can do to help organize thoughts in the mind and feel more relaxed. And when we are doing colouring in as like an activity, we find it very enjoyable to kind of focus on that task and to be able to see something coming together. So it makes it a lot easier for people to enjoy spending time just focusing on that rather than anything else that's going on. But you don't have to go out and buy mindfulness colouring books or anything like that. You can just make your own. So as you've just seen from that activity there, if you just do some scribbles and then you take a bit of time to colour those in, it can really help to focus your mind, make you feel better, and also give you a lovely piece of artwork that you can give to someone or you can keep and put up and decorate. I would love to be able to see some of the designs that you guys have done, but we're not able to share them on this thing. But if you tweet them and tag in the foundation, I'm sure I'd be able to see them from there. And that's for parents, not for young people, obviously. So I would love to see Mark's, because Mark didn't mute himself and I could hear him scribbling away while I was doing the thinking there. So Mark, would you like to share yours?
As you know, Andy, I am LFC obsessed, which is probably a good thing given the fact that I work for the LFC Foundation. But I was looking at the shapes that I drew and I tried to change it into a liver bird. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yes, we can. Stay still. Yes, look at that. That is a brilliant picture of a scribbly liver bird.
There we go. I'll change my background so everyone can see properly.
There you go. Let's see it. Wow. Okay, look at that liver bird, everyone. That's fantastic. I could hear you scribbling away. So feel free to tweet us your pictures at LFC Foundation, because we'd love to see them. If you haven't finished, don't worry, you'll be able to carry it on after today's session, and also feel free to make any more of these that you want, because it's a really good activity. I'm just going to move on now to something else. So we have a physical activity challenge for you now, because exercise is really good for our mental health. So can anyone in the chat give me two numbers? I will take the first two numbers that come through between 1 and 30. So whichever number you want, first two numbers to come through between 1 and 30. And that will be the activity we will do. Okay, so the Grace was first in with 12. And I'll also take Alana's at 10. So our two physical activity challenges are number 12 and number 10. So first activity that we're going to do, so everyone can stand up, is 10 giant steps. So I will do the demonstration of the 10 giant steps. And then the second activity that we are going to do is balancing on one leg for 30 seconds. So I'm going to demonstrate both of those things. So giant steps first, and we're going to do 10 giant steps. And then we're going to do balancing. So I am off camera because I'm going to do a giant step. So everyone, big stretch of the legs. And how loud is that noise? I am a very big human being. I hope you're enjoying stomping as well. And then other leg, big one. I sound like the Gruffalo when he's taking massive steps. So another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there are giant steps. And then the next challenge is balancing on one leg for 30 seconds. So Mark, can you keep an eye on the time for me?
Yeah, I'll get my timer ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna get ready to go. Everyone get ready. We're gonna stand like flamingos in the water.
So, on your marks, get set, go.
Woo!
I've heard if you hold on to your earlobe as well, it helps with balance.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey!
Hang on.
Well done, everyone. Well done. Balance is a particularly good activity to do, especially as we're all at home right now. So finding little ways to do little bits of exercise throughout your day will definitely help you with your mental health and your well-being. So the reason for that is because we all need strong bodies to have strong minds. If you build up your body over time and you look after yourself, you're more likely to be mentally strong and mentally prepared. So it's not a given that you will always, be mentally strong like that, but it definitely does help. And doing physical activity over time helps build up lots of things in our body and chemicals in our body, which then help us. So well done to everyone to take part in that. So our next activity. Now, again, very big word this, positive affirmations. Big word, but I'm going to explain it. So what we mean by this is nice things that we say to ourselves. So we all have to practice saying nice, positive things to ourselves. It's easy to say nice things to ourselves when we're feeling good, but it's not as easy when we're not feeling good. So what I would suggest is that you practice saying it. I watched a brilliant video recently of a dad with his daughter, and the daughter was standing in front of the mirror, and the dad kept saying things into the mirror, and the daughter kept repeating them. And he just kept saying things like, I am strong. And the daughter was like, I am strong. And the dad was like, I am powerful. And the little girl was like, I am powerful. And you'd be surprised how much it helps you if you actually tell yourself that positive things on a daily basis. So what I'd like you to do is to take 2 minutes, and I would like you to create your own positive statement. So there's some examples on the screen there. So I am brave, I am kind, I am strong, I am smart, I am helpful, all those. Or it could just be one sentence that says, I love myself and I am happy with myself, or something like that. And then decorate that picture to make it look really nice. So you want to make it yours, individual to you. So write down anything that you want to say to yourself about being nice and about being kind to yourself. And then we're going to tell you what you're going to do with that at the end of today's session. So take a couple of minutes now to be able to do that. So there's a 2-minute timer. So in 2 minutes, come back and hopefully you've got some really positive things to say on that paper. 3, 2, 1. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so that was just a couple of minutes for you to write down something really positive about yourself. And hopefully you've been able to decorate it as well. So I want you to keep that piece of paper that you've done to the side, and I'm going to tell you somewhere where you can put it towards the end of this session. So again, just to say how important this is it's really important to say nice things about yourself. I think sometimes, no matter what your age, whether you're a young person or whether you're a parent or anybody else, sometimes it's easier for you to think negative things about yourself rather than positive things. So doing something like this can remind you of all the positive things in life and all the positive things about you as a person. So it's a really good idea to kind of write those things down. So we've got our next art activity for you now. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to draw or write on a piece of paper what your future could be or what things you would like in your future. So these could be things like a big house, expensive car, family, money, a particular job, like playing for Liverpool. I think that was probably Mark's dream when he was a kid. He works for Liverpool, so I mean, he's halfway there. A pet that you'd like, or a dream place to live. So you can draw images and pictures on a piece of paper, or you could just write the words and then make it kind of colourful for you. I remember doing this with a group of young people, and they did it as a house. So they drawed a house, and then they drawed all the things that they wanted in their house and in their future all around it. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes on this because I think it's a really good activity to think about the things that you want and to kind of draw them out. But don't worry too much about what the drawings look like. As long as you know what they are, then that's fine. So just draw what you like and what you would like to have. So we're going to give you 5 minutes. I'll put a timer on. And I'd like you to kind of come up with the most creative, the most interesting pictures that you can. And again, parents, if you could send them on Twitter and tag in the LFC Foundation, I would love to see the results of that. So 5 minutes, and then I'll tell you why this activity is such a good idea. Okay, everyone, that's 5 minutes. Just in case anyone else was wondering, I did check while we were waiting for people to do that activity if the rabbit was okay, and I've just got a message back saying, yes, she's good. So just in case anyone else was concerned about the rabbit chewing on wires, the rabbit is okay. This is a brilliant activity. I think it's really, really important for people to be able to visualize the future and to think about things that they want in life. It's a really good activity for your mental health and well-being, because it's all about looking forward and trying to imagine what that future or what that life could be. It's not always easy to get there and to achieve that particular future, but it's important to have goals in life and to reach for what we want to achieve. Another good way that you can do that is through writing a bucket list. So a bucket list is something you could do away from this activity today. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It's just about writing things down that you want to do. So you could have really ambitious ones like swim with sharks or skydive, or it could be something very simple like learn to juggle. It's all about what you want it to be. So the list is up to you to come up with your own ideas. Always try and be brave with the things you put on your bucket list and try and challenge yourself to learn something new, achieve something, but try not to make them too unrealistic as well. Like living on Mars would be a slightly more difficult one to achieve. So try to think of things that you'd like to do in the future, but don't make them impossible for you to achieve. So I've written some of these down, but some of these are actually my ones. So I remember putting down swimming with sharks years and years ago, and then I actually got to do it, and I got to free dive with sharks. I really, really enjoyed it, but it's also very dangerous. So please don't do it without your parents' permission. Skydiving as well is another one that's on my bucket list of things I want to do. And I also have a challenge to read a certain number of books per year. It's actually more than 10, but I try and read at least one book a month because I think it's really good for you. And I think it's really good for your vocabulary, for your education, and also I find it really enjoyable. So try after this session today, write your own bucket list of things that you would like to do. Okay, we're going to go for another physical activity now. So in the chat, can I have 2 more numbers in the chat, not different from the ones we had last time, please? So we have 23. And actually, I'm going to take Fatima's one as well. So that was 26. So we've got 23 and 26. And Mark is going to be our demonstrator.
Right, I'm up, I'm ready.
Okay, so the first physical activity challenge for you is number 23, and that is to stand on your tippy toes for 15 seconds. So when you stand on your tippy toes, you have to put your arms out like that as well to keep your balance. So I will say go, and then everyone do it, and then I will tell you when you should stop. So everybody up on your tippy toes and go.
I've been up since you've been speaking. That's not fair, Andy. Trick me there.
And down. Okay. That's a really good one for exercising your leg muscles, because you've got to push yourself up with your legs and hold yourself in that position. So that's that one. And then the other one we got was Fatima's one. Just let me look back on chat, which was 26. So 26. Okay. Mark, 10 sit-ups.
Oh, no.
So if you don't know what a sit-up is, you're going to lie down on the floor. Yeah. And then you were going to come up to your knees like that and back down again. So bring your knees up and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, woohoo, 5, nearly there, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Whew. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I know I can't see you doing this, but I'm imagining in my head, and it looks brilliant that you're all getting involved and trying your best to do that. So sit-ups is another really good activity that you can do indoors, and it's also a good way to challenge yourself. So maybe you want to try doing like, how many sit-ups can you do in 60 seconds? And then the next day you might want to try and beat that. Especially while we're all in this rather difficult position being at home, it's a good idea to find like little challenges you can do in the house. Me and my son play a game of sock stairs, which is basically about, I put like targets on the top of the stairs using like little slips of paper, and then we get rolled up socks, and you have to try and throw and get the socks to land on that. But if you throw it too hard, it bounces back and falls down, so you get less points. So it's about getting the perfect angle to kind of throw the socks onto the stairs. So try and find little creative things that you can do and to make yourself more distracted, and also it's a physical activity session. At the end of this session today, parents, all of these challenges will be on the screen, so you can take a screenshot and try them with your young people away from today's session. So why have we just done those physical activity sessions? Because looking after your physical health is really important to your mental health. It helps to reduce stress. It helps you lift your self-esteem and make you feel good about yourself. It also makes it better for people who have anxiety and people who are feeling sad. And it definitely improves your mood. Now, I can tell you for an absolute certainty, when I decide I'm going to the gym, I don't like it. When I'm walking to the gym, I don't like it. When I get to the gym, I don't like it. When I've done the gym and I've achieved it and I feel like physically better, I love it. So it can definitely make your mood better, even if you're not feeling very like you want to do exercise. If you do it a little bit, it can definitely improve your mood and make you feel better. So I would encourage you to find little ways for you to do that. Okay, so last activity for this is called the brain dump. And what I want you to do is I'm going to give you 2 minutes and 2 minutes only, and I want you to write on a piece of paper anything and anything that comes into your head. This could be positive things, negative things. It could be what you have for lunch. It could be anything you're thinking about, like whether you're worried about rabbits chewing wires, whether you're worried about the computer crashing or the internet going off like I have been all day. Whatever it is, I just want you to write all the things that are in your brain on a piece of paper. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes starting now, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do after that. Okay, so go. Okay, so I'm going to call a time on that one. So the brain dump exercise is a really good activity for getting all of your thoughts that you have in your head down on paper. And that serves two purposes, really. One, it helps clear your brain of all the different things we're thinking of. And it can also help us to get out whether we're thinking positively or negatively about the day. So I'm going to share with you some of mine. So I've got, I hope the young people are enjoying this. Did I remember to put that thing out that I was supposed to do last night? Internet problems, too much cheese. I've had a lot of cheese over the last couple of days, and I'm wondering if how much cheese is too much. I need a holiday. I'm a bit tired today. I definitely need to have some decent dinner. And then I also wonder whether if dogs could read minds, what they would think of our thoughts. And would they be able to tell us, which I don't think they would. I've no idea why that thought popped into my head, but it did. So now that you've done that brain dump, what I want you to do is we're going to do a visualization exercise on getting rid of some negative thoughts or some negative thoughts. So what I want you to do now is I want you to take your brain dump piece of paper, and I would like you to turn it into a paper aeroplane. If you've never made a paper aeroplane before, which shockingly some young people haven't, there is some instructions right here next to it how to make it. So I'd like you to try and make that paper aeroplane now, and I'm going to give you a minute to do that activity. When we get back to the real world, Mark, I want me and you to have a proper paper aeroplane competition, because I've been doing this activity for a while now, and I think I'm getting pretty good. I did this with a group of young people at Anfield, by the way, and then we threw the paper aeroplanes out of the window, and one of them landed on the Shankly statue, and I had to go and get it off to not be disrespectful.
That's a good throw, though.
It was from the Educate window, which is above the ticket office.
Yeah.
I had 30 young people doing this all at the same time out the windows. It actually looked like chaos, but it was a lot of fun. So, once you have your paper aeroplanes, I have mine. Batman. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to pick a spot where you can kind of get a good throw. And then I want you to let loose, and I want you to go, bye-bye. Whoop!
I actually got mine in the bin.
Did you? Come on. Mine hit the blinds, then hit the wall, then fell. So it went as far as it could within a room this size, because I'm in a very small bedroom at the moment. So why did we do that activity? I would love to know how far you got. If anyone got quite far, if you could put it in chat, that'd be wonderful, because I'd like to hear that. Why do we do that activity? So sometimes we have what's called negative thoughts that pop into our heads. And all the stuff we're talking about here in terms of coping strategies is all about trying to help yourself with those negative thoughts and make yourself feel better. So by doing this activity, what you can do is just write down anything negative that you might be thinking on paper, and it just gets rid of them out of your head and onto paper, and then you can throw them away, and it helps you to remember to push out negative thoughts and only look at positive thoughts. By doing this activity as well, it also makes it easier for you to feel about what's going on in the world. So because you don't have to think, you just write as much as you can. It can really show what you're really feeling about things, and whether you're worried about something or whether you're upset. So it's a good activity to do, just to help yourself get all that information out of your brain and onto paper, and then it's easier to see. I'd love to know how far you got in chat. Feel free to throw it in. If you hit a rabbit or a TV or a parent, please put that into chat, because again, we'd love to know. And thank you very much for doing that activity today. So last little bit before we have to finish today is all about how to build confidence. So these are some top tips on how to build confidence. Write things down positive about yourself daily, which is what we've just done. Learn a new hobby or a skill. Making new friends can help build confidence. Exercise, which we've already talked about. Coming out your comfort zone and challenging yourself. That means trying new things that you haven't done before. So that's a really good thing to do. Avoid saying I can't, because that's really a negative word. Encourage yourself to do well, look after yourself, and believe in yourself. So there's some really good top tips on things you can do. After today's session, it'd be really good for you to start thinking about things that you enjoy about being you. So I would like you to take a little picture of this, or to remember this, or write it down. And I want you to write 3 positive words about yourself. They could be any positive words. So if I was writing positive words, I would write things like loyal, happy, and caring. So those are 3 words that I would use to describe myself. But what 3 words would you use to describe yourself? 3 parts of yourself that you love. I love my weird curly hair. I also love my freckles, because a young person keeps telling me that I look like a leopard. And I also like my big hands, because I have really big hands. I look like a gorilla, which is quite fun. Write down 3 things that make you happy. So 3 things that make me happy would be, probably unsurprisingly based on the last activity, but cheese makes me happy. Listening to music, and also seeing a friend makes me happy. So try and write down 3 things that make you happy as well. Okay, so moving on to that. So the last little bit is just to make a promise to yourself to love yourself and to look after yourself. I always use this quote: treat yourself like someone you love. And what that means is to be kind to yourself. Even when you're going through bad times or things are difficult, make sure you're looking after yourself and treating yourself kindly, because it's really quite a difficult time right now, and we want to make sure that we're looking after ourselves as much as we possibly can. I've got a couple of ideas for things you could do outside of this session. These are 2 that I would highly recommend. The first one is to build a best things box. It could be any shoe box. You can decorate it however you want, cover it in paper, cover it in wrapping paper. You can do drawings on it, make it your own. And then find things that make you happy, things that make you feel better, and then put them inside that box. And you're supposed to do this when you're feeling good. So you can make this box when you're feeling happy. It could be a favorite chocolate bar, photographs, a favorite toy, a list of songs that you like. It could be the positive affirmations page, which I assist to keep hold of, so you can put that into your box. Or it could be a bucket list or a nice picture that makes you smile. Whatever you put into your box is for you personally. And then what I want you to do is put it somewhere in your room, put it somewhere where you can get it. And then the next time you're feeling negative, or you're feeling down, or you're feeling worried, you can go to your box, get something out, and it will help you to make you feel better. So I would definitely encourage you to do that one. The last one that I would encourage you to do is to remember positive things and good things that happen. It's really easy sometimes to remember negative things that happen, or stressful things that happen. I would always recommend to everyone to look at positive things as well. So if you get yourself a jar, and me and my son have started doing that this year. Get yourself a jar and a box of Post-it notes, or just scrap pieces of paper. And then when something good happens, like you have a great day with your rabbit, or a friend comes over, like to social distance play, whatever it might be, make a little note of the happy thing that happened and put it into the jar. And then you don't have to wait till New Year. You can wait till maybe the summer, or you can wait until towards the end of the year, or your birthday. Just pick a date when you want to look at these things, or when the jar gets full, because I would really hope that all of you would fill a jar with really good things that happen. And then empty the jar and read it, because it'll remind you of all the positive things and all the good things that have happened across the year. So these are little ideas for you to take away with you. Feel free to try them and do them whenever you want. And the last thing I'd say before we finish today is a reminder that it's okay to not be okay. If you are struggling, make sure you talk to the people around you, talk to your parents, your guardians, anyone that you can trust and talk to in your life. So if you are feeling a little bit low and a little bit sad, then please make sure you reach out and talk to someone. Failing that as well, we also have our safeguarding team. So if parents want to take a note of the telephone number on the screen there, if anyone is struggling or wants to speak to or get some help or support, then our safeguarding team are here. And there's the telephone number that you can use to get in contact with us. And if we can't help you, we will always try to find somebody who can. So I'll leave that up for a few more seconds in case anyone wants to take that down. But basically, that's the end of our workshop today. We've just got a little bit over, but I hope you've really enjoyed today's session. I'd love to hear some feedback in the chat if anyone wants to write anything or say anything before we finish. And I've really enjoyed having you come on to our little workshop today. And thank you very much for taking part.
Thank you also from myself, and don't forget, adults on the call, or if you want to ask your parents or guardians to share some of the work that you've done with us today on the Twitter feed, that's at LFC Foundation. Feel free to share those. We'd love to see some of the amazing work you've done today. But thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you on our next session, which is on Wednesday.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Have yourself a wonderful day. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to end the meeting for everyone now, Mark. So I'll catch up with you on telephone in a minute.
Okay, brilliant.